YouTube.com. The buy now, pay later trap explained. Y'all gonna like this one. Cause I'm gonna have a whole lot of shit to say. A whole lot of things to say. So buckle up.
Why is Pay in 4 so addictive?
I literally once financed a bottle of body wash.
What?
You know what? I'm gonna afterpay this. It's gonna make me feel less guilty to pay it in 4 installments of $81 or whatever.
That's like having a black American Express to me. I can use it anywhere, anytime I get ready.
I'm using Klarna to pay for these Chris Brown tickets.
Hey, type 1 if y'all ever did a buy now, pay later, pay later, buy now type of transaction. Split my payment up in 9s, split my payment up in 6s and 12s and all this shit. Y'all ever did that?
Look at this chart right here. This shows the total non-housing consumer debt in America over the last 10 years. And in 2024, Americans collectively owe more than $5 trillion, which is enough to pay for every NFL, NBA, and MLB team 10 times over. And to make matters worse, we are constantly surrounded by psychological tricks and hidden fees to drive us further and further into debt. The worst.
Because don't y'all get it? The way to really make money, Dant, is what? What have we been speaking of for the past fucking... How long have I been a streamer? Like, let's say 3 years, right? Bro, credit. You think these motherfuckers are using their actual earned income to buy for shit? Hello? Please, people. All of this shit is imaginary pokey coins. Imaginary dog eat dog world coins. That's what it is. Sonic the Hedgehog V-Bucks. That's all this shit is. That's how the rich and wealthy keep getting rich and wealthy.
Worst of these tricks, the buy now, pay later programs that have been designed to take advantage of young adults.
So when you buy a $100 pair of shoes and you only have to pay $25 that day, and then the pair of shoes show up at my apartment 3 days later, the shoes are $25. Why do I care if in 2 months I have to pay another $25? I don't know me 2 months from now.
And then girl math. See, okay, Kiki, can I say something, Kiki, and ladies watching, okay? Chicks like her do y'all a disservice. And y'all just put it, well, not y'all, but they just put it in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just a girl's girl. I'm just a girly. AKA, I shouldn't give a fuck about nothing. I shouldn't give a fuck about, I should just be in La La Land. Because why? I'm a girly. Girl math. I'm just a girl. I'm a girly. I'm just a girl. I shouldn't care. I shouldn't learn. I shouldn't be knowledgeable. I shouldn't, yeah. Because why? I'm just a girl.
Oh, she can deal with
Girl, Hurl, Wayne's World, JB and 5.
Buy now, pay later is a short-term financing option that is offered by companies like Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay. You'll typically see these options pop up on e-commerce stores, offering you the ability to buy what you want today while deferring your payment over a certain number of installments. So if you're looking to buy a new suitcase for a trip you have coming up and it's going to cost you $300, instead of paying that all today, you could buy the suitcase today and then split the $300 across 4 equal interest-free payments. And you might think, great, interest-free. I can just sign up for these payments and then worry about paying it sometime later down the road. But it's not quite that simple. These buy now, pay later programs aren't necessarily groundbreaking financial technology. In fact, buy now, pay later programs are kind of a newer, modernized version of the old school layaway programs that you would see at stores like Kmart.
That's all it is.
These layaway programs allowed you to place a deposit on an item like a dishwasher, for example. And then
that's all it is. Man, black folks used to keep shit on layaway. What the hell? Put $10 there, $20 there, ask the person, hey, look, I ain't got it right now, but I gotta pay my light bill, but, can I give you a little $5 to hold my spot, to hold it for me? Come on now. Been pimping since been pimping. You got to know that. So like JB, I did sign up for Afterpay and my limit is nice, but I delete the app and the account. I was like, nah. Listen, you know, okay. It's like, all right, Kiki, it's like being so young, but having so much freedom, right? If you have the whole house to yourself, 5 days out the week, and it's just you in there, taking care of yourself, eating yourself, clothing yourself, bathing yourself, taking yourself to school, to work, whatever the case, right? Not, mind you, you're young. Guess what you're going to start to do? You're going to start to, your imagination is going to start running wild. You're going to start to say, wait a minute, nobody's here to monitor me. So guess what? I'm going to throw a party. I'm going to have people come over. I'm going to use this credit card, or I'm going to get a fake credit card, or I'm going to get, you know, right? I'm going to get into some stupid shit. Why? Because I don't have nobody monitoring me. So it's the same thing with this. I'm not saying, you know, that you can't be in the crib and eat pizza. Your mama don't really like you to eat pizza, but she not here. So you could have pizza. You could have you a couple soft drinks. You can get you some breadsticks, a dessert, a cake or two, right? Because guess what? Nobody's there to watch you. So what am I drawing a similarity to? It's okay to, you know, sign up for it, maybe do it a time or two, but you gotta limit yourself. You gotta be hard on yourself. You gotta say, all right, I'm gonna just give myself 3 times or 2 times. I'm gonna do this for a big purchase, right? I'm gonna do this for maybe, you know, a PC, or, you know, my dream PC, a couple monitors, you know, something that's valuable and important to you, right? And then after that, I'm done. After that, I'm done. You know, you can't, cause bro, cause they're playing on our heartstrings. You see what I'm saying, Kiki? They're playing on our heartstrings, and they're playing on the fact that resources are depleting. It is at a scarce, quote unquote. So we're going to give you more options to choose from that will confuse you. You see? I never used it. I'm not saying I won't. Shit. I may use it. I just think they want us in debt. Yeah, because that's how they make their money. That's how they make their money. Yes, you're absolutely right. Oops.
The store would reserve that dishwasher for you to collect once you had paid off the
Let me blow my
dishwasher through
candle
their
real quick.
installment plan. But these layaway programs kind of fell off throughout much of the mid-20th century, mainly due to the introduction of credit cards and revolving lines of credit. Instead of using a layaway program and waiting to collect their item, people could just swipe a credit card, get their item today, and then worry about paying off that over the next couple months or years. The only problem is that a credit card will incur interest. People realize that if they didn't pay their credit card down on time, they would end up owing more than they initially spent on the item. So along came the modern marvel that is buy now, pay later, which...
And look, and I didn't know this until probably like the end of 2024, right? Towards the end of 2024. Bro, you get you a Cash App. I don't know about Venmo. I don't use Venmo. I don't use this shit. You can quote unquote borrow money from Cash App, right? So in the beginning, of course, you have a $10, $20 limit. You can only borrow $20 on Cash App. But of course, guess what? You got to pay it back in a month. So it's going to have, you know, payments, $5 here, $3.50 here, right? And, you know, you get up to $200, $100, $150 from Cash App. Of course, you got to pay it back, but it's money you can use that they are literally throwing at you to what? Get your money. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just a very vicious, cyclical game. Real shit. Golly.
gave you the best of both worlds. Get your product today, pay it off over a longer period of time, all while doing it interest-free. And that idea began hooking people in, because buy now, pay later has seen some explosive growth over the last 5 years, going from $2 billion in transaction volume in 2019 to $24.2 billion in 2021, and it's projected to reach as high as $122 billion in 2025. But this explosion wasn't just happening in a vacuum. It's actually part
because they know this is working for the middle class and poor class of people.
of three major cultural shifts that we've been seeing. First is the financialization of everything, meaning we've moved from a completely cash-based society to a society in which we look at even $5 coffee.
Finance it or lease it. Everything is rentable. Even people.
As an opportunity to finance the transaction. Second, we have the rise of social media driven consumption. As influencers showcase luxury lifestyle and products, buy now, pay later allows the average consumer the ability to experience those same things without actually incurring the cost today. And third, we have the post-pandemic spending boom, which has consumers using buy now, pay later as a form of revenge spending or buying things they feel like they missed out on during the pandemic. Combine all of that with a declining financial literacy among most young adults, and you have the perfect storm to make buy now, pay later explode as a new mentality. But why is this even a problem? If they're not charging interest, how can they actually be taking advantage of me as a consumer? To answer that question, we first need to look at the differences between buy now, pay later programs and traditional credit cards. Because on the outside, they're basically the same thing. Both financial devices allow you to buy something today that you might not necessarily be able to afford or be willing to put cash down today for. But a credit card usually involves some sort of approval process, application, review, and a credit
from numbers that are fake, which is your credit report, your credit score, which you get from what? Your social security number. Yeah, let's make sure that you are very secure in this society. It's fake.
Report hit. Meanwhile, buy now, pay later programs offer an almost instantaneous approval for your purchase in the moment. Additionally, as we discussed, credit cards can accrue interest if not paid off by the end of the month. And that rate can be at crazy high rates, usually around 19 to 23%. On top of that, if you're late with your payment or you miss a payment, credit card companies can also add on late payment fees that just end up waterfalling you into insane amounts of credit card debt off of fairly simple purchases to begin with. And on the other hand, buy now, pay later offers 0% interest, which sounds great, but that all depends on if you actually pay your payments on time. If you don't, you'll be subject to late payment fees that can range anywhere from $2 to $15 per payment and going all the way up to 25% of the total value of the purchase you made initially. And with all that said, buy now, pay later still might sound like a perfectly good alternative to credit cards, which is exactly what they want you to think. Because buy now, pay later programs weren't necessarily designed to help the consumer like you or me. They were designed for stores and brands that want to sell more through their website or in their stores. After all, that's why brands are willing to pay 2 to 3% more for their transaction fees to use a buy now, pay later program versus a traditional credit card processor. To give you an example, let's look at a $100 purchase. If you bought a $100 item using a normal credit card on their site, the brand was typically going to incur about a $2.50 charge to process that payment. And on the other hand, if you were to use a buy now, pay later program, that transaction fee that the brand has to pay goes from $2.50 to about $5. But the merchant fees are just the beginning when it comes to buy now, pay later. So let's look at how these companies actually make money beyond just charging the brand that hosts them on their website. First, like we just discussed, they're going to collect that merchant fee, which is anywhere from 4 to 6% of the transaction price. Second, they profit from late fees, like we talked about earlier, which has turned out to be
they're profiting on the fact that we got too much going on. We're not organized financially. We're not financially literate. We're not financially sound. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? And guess what? You can't blame them because they know shit that we don't. Or I'm going to just say they're in the know of a certain language that the opposing side does not know.
Be a pretty substantial revenue source for companies like Affirm and Klarna, because 1 in every 3 users of these buy now pay later programs actually ends up missing a payment at least once. And third, every purchase that is made reveals something about you or your shopping habits, and these companies have realized that that is very valuable information for other brands. So they actually harvest a lot of the data from your checkout pages and then sell it to other brands that can then use it in their marketing or in their ad targeting. And finally, they benefit from the sheer volume of loans being opened up by packaging yours and everybody else's debt together and selling it to larger financial institutions. They can make money even when you pay on time. In other words, they've created a system where they win no matter what happens to you financially. So now let's look at buying an iPhone for $1,000. When you reach the checkout page, you have 3 options. Number 1, pay the full $1,000.
I did not know this. Oh, I ain't never bought an iPhone online, I'll tell you that. I go to the store. I did not know this. What type of iPhone y'all got? What's good, Shane?
$1,000 up front. This is the simplest, cleanest, and easiest way to get out of the checkout scotch-free. Option 2, you could use a credit card with the typical 22% APR to purchase the phone. And if you only made the minimum payments, you would end up paying about $1,480 over the course of 5 years, with $480 of that being the interest alone. And option number 3.
So imagine how many people do that, use their credit card, put it on a business credit card, regular credit card, everyday use, whatever. And the people are, Jesus.
Is you could use Afterpay's 4-payment installment plan where you pay $250 today and then $250 every 2 weeks until the plan is paid off, which sounds like the best deal to you. You see, brands have mastered psychological manipulation throughout their website, but specifically on the last hurdle, which is the checkout page. And they do this through 4 key tricks. First, they exploit what psychologists call the pain of paying. By splitting the cost over a longer period of time, your brain actually registers less financial pain than paying the full amount up front. Second, they trigger what is called the temporal discounting, which is our tendency to value immediate rewards more than future benefits, or otherwise known as instant gratification. Pay just $25 today and it's yours sounds a lot better than waiting and saving up for it. Third, they will create artificial urgency by simulating limited time offers in the checkout page. And finally,
and the crazy part is you gotta do shit like this. Like anything you do. Working at a restaurant business, working at a bank, working at Whole Foods, Walmart, Walfart. You have to do, bro. Kiki, you know I ain't lying. You at Krogi's, right? Whenever Halloween time, Christmas time, Easter time, Mother's Day, what y'all got to do to the? I know you're in a certain position, Publix. My bad, Publix. But I know you're in a certain position, but. What did they do to the store? They rearranged the whole store, put the balloons, put the flowers, put the cupcakes, the candy, right? They switched the whole store around because it's public perception. It's the perception. Like, oh, like they care about us. Like they, yeah. Okay. They're up to date. Shane said he got an iPhone 7. Nice. Keep it until it starts talking back to you and glitching and shutting down randomly. You said, let me tell you, I've seen so many credit cards used for flowers and cards and balloons. Exactly. Yep. I went to Whole Foods today. Man. Them the flower lady was working overtime, and it was just her. Had to serve like 20 people by herself. So yeah, man, they situate these stores a certain way that only deals with psychology of the mind, because that's how they can sell. So like anybody, an entrepreneur, a CEO, businessman or woman, you gotta do shit like this.
$25 today and it's yours sounds a lot better than waiting and saving up for it. Third, they will create artificial urgency by...
But let me say this. The more you know is the more that you can operate on what you actually desire. You're not being subconsciously forced. You're not being coerced. You're not being manipulated or tricked into buying shit or doing... You see what I'm saying, Kiki? That's what I was getting at talking about you signing up for Afterpay and then not, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what information and knowledge plus wisdom should do. It don't make you scared of doing it, right? It should push you in a direction where you're aware the tricks, the tips, the hacks, and the loopholes, and you make the choice if this is what you want to go with or not. You make the choice. It's like a person. Like, I know you're lying to me. Now, do I want to believe your lie? Do I want to exaggerate and prolong this relationship because I know you lying to me? And I like, you see, a lot of people like the truth is lies to them. They don't know how to tell the difference. When somebody's being upfront and honest with them, they can't believe it. So what do they say? Innately, you lying to me. No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what I actually want. And it's not you. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not this. It's not this. But then when you lie, they categorize that as the truth. Because it sounds better. It strokes them better. It's crazy. Some people will wait. Some don't want to wait. But they be asking for hours at the job because they got payments.
Stimulating limited time offers in the checkout page. And finally, they use colors and shapes to direct your eye exactly where they want you to be looking. Have you ever noticed that the buy now, pay later button is often highlighted in a brighter color and it's sometimes even pre-selected when you reach the checkout page? These aren't accidents. These are specific design decisions to short circuit your brain to making a financial decision more on an impulse than with rational thinking. Instead of thinking about a $100 purchase rationally and over a longer period of time, they'd rather have you just click the pay $25 now and worry about it later on. And again, this isn't necessary.
And guess what, Kiki? You working. You just bought something else that you got to pay. It's my birthday coming up. Christmas coming up. Oh my God. Oh, Christmas coming up? Shit. Somebody's birthday? Shit. We know you don't have time to organize and propagate. We know that. So here you go. Just click it. See? They don't want you to think about shit. Don't think about nothing. We got your dick. We got your women. We got your money. We're going to gamble your money away. We're going to lease your money. We're going to rent your money out. Don't you worry about nothing. Just sit there and be a clock on the wall.
Necessarily a bad deal because people are always looking for interest-free ways of purchasing things so that their money can go and earn them more money while they're paying off the other thing that they purchased. But to do so requires some financial education or experience. And sadly, most Americans are completely undereducated when it comes to financial literacy. So the instant gratification syndrome kicks in and they buy practically everything with buy now, pay later, with no real concern that they will in fact have to pay that off at some point. All they're worried about is the price that they will pay today, which is exactly how you end up with this.
I've done groceries. I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm and Klarna, but it adds up and then you are in a chokehold.
Bro, it's so crazy that this is like a viral, like these are viral clips and viral videos. Like it adds up. Oh my gosh. Like, wait, the money's not actually imaginary. Oh my goodness. And that's just common sense.
And in some ways, it is worse than having credit card payments. It's crazy.
Because buy now, pay later is so easy to do, people are starting to use it on more and more occasions where it's really not meant to be used. Instead of...
Now, my mom and dad told me we don't have to buy gifts as long as we have a roof and food, we good. Like tomorrow, I got my mom a card and that's it. My mom said, don't go in debt for me! Ha! W parents. Let's clap that up. Let's clap that up right there. Let's clap that up. You know? Because on the one end, it's not that, people shouldn't want gifts, right? People shouldn't want, or people should feel bad for wanting gifts, or people should feel a way, But if somebody doesn't have the means right now, to buy your ideal gift for them or something like that, like, please don't make it a big deal. Because that says a lot about you. Because that's like, Kiki, I shit on you or or you shit on somebody else for being down in the dirt. Your ass is in the sand and, you know, you just finding ways to get how you live, right? That's kicking somebody when they down. So even when you up, you're going to get kicked the worst way. Hey, look over here, kid. You know? And it's harsh. That's harsh. So, W parents, man, shout out to that. Shout out to that, man. Yeah, please don't be going over and beyond trying to, you know, break your back and do all this shit for some damn gifts, bro. You know what's the biggest gift? You know what's the greatest gift in this existence that we always neglect until it's too late? Until something really happens? The quality time. The smiles. The laughs. The games. That's what motherfuckers really neglect. Because if that's the case, why does everybody who you never seen in years, decades come together when somebody passes? Why? Why that happen? But we can't treat somebody's birthday even. And we don't gotta do nothing. We don't gotta get gifts. Bring yourself. Bring your presence. That's the biggest gift. See?
Of just using it on a big purchase like a new fridge or a TV, they're starting to use it on smaller things and truly financing items that have no business being financed. A crazy story that we recently saw is that Klarna is now on DoorDash, which allows you to finance your $15 burrito over 4 payments of $3.75 instead of paying the full $15 up front. Again,
shut the fuck up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are doomed. We are doomed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Because you know what that does? That makes me think of from fat to fit, or excuse me, from fit to fat to fit. Or with all due respect, that makes me think about the video we watched on my 600 pound life. The 600 pound man. He hopped on a scale. The bitch said error.
Oh my God.
Now it's not funny, right? It's not funny that he's 600 pounds. That's not funny. Okay, nothing about it's funny. But, bro, did y'all see how many times he ordered a day DoorDash? He said, when I'm getting done with my breakfast, I'm already thinking about what I want for lunch.
Oh my God.
When I'm just about finished my lunch, I'm thinking about what I want for dinner. And mind you, he's 600 pounds. He's not eating a sandwich with 2 sides and a drink and some chips. He has 4 different plates of food with 2 different desserts and a bev. Come on, son.
Not a necessarily terrible thing when looked at in a vacuum, but when you expand this to consider that someone who's financing a burrito is also probably financing a lot of other things, that's when the real problem starts to arise. Bad spending habits like this lead to what we call loan stacking. Pretty much what it sounds like. Taking out loan after loan after loan and stacking them on top of each other. And because buy now, pay later programs make it so easy to do so, most consumers don't even realize how much debt they're actually accruing. In fact, in 2022, 63% of buy now, pay later borrowers had more than one loan going at one time. And this is where it gets really scary. Because these programs are designed to offer credit with little to no approval process, it's almost like they're targeting people that don't know how to manage their money.
Oh no. It's not almost, my brother. Great point. It's not almost. It's exactly that. It's exactly that.
little to no approval process. It's almost like they're targeting people that don't know how to manage their money. All they see is, oh, I can buy this $1,000 thing for $250 today, and they just click buy. When in reality, over 69% of buy now, pay later users are already in debt on another credit card. And 28% of buy now, pay later borrowers are between the ages of 18 and 24 years old. Most of these people don't even understand the concept of how a credit card works, and by giving them this buy now, pay later option, it's almost like they have this unlimited stream of money that never needs to actually be paid off. Again, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some advantages to the system if you know how to play it, but the vast majority of people using the system are not taking advantage of it. They are just getting taken advantage of. So what do you do? As a consumer, should I completely stay away from buy now, pay later, or are there some circumstances where it makes sense? And to answer that question, the most important piece of advice I can give you is to never spend more than you currently have, whether that be through a credit card or a buy now, pay later option. If you don't have the cash in your bank, don't spend it. And that is by far the easiest way that you can keep yourself out of credit card debt. And if you feel confident in your financial abilities, feel free to use a credit card or a buy now, pay later option to earn more interest on your cash while it's sitting in your account versus just spending it immediately. But if you don't feel confident about this, treat your credit cards in a buy now, pay later program as if it's hooked directly up to your checking account. If you spend $100, that's $100 coming directly out of your account. Another tip I have is to avoid stacking these loans, because that is where things can get very messy very quickly. If you start financing weekly expenses like gas, groceries, or that Friday night Chipotle bowl, it becomes a slippery slope, because it is 100.
I thought you meant like paying. Okay, I thought you meant like paying for it, like on your credit card. That ain't nothing. Yeah, if you're gonna pay that on your credit card, yeah, that's good. $30 here, $50 there, $20. Yeah, but of course, don't go too crazy, right? But yeah.
Gas, groceries, or that Friday night Chipotle bowl, it becomes a slippery slope, because it is 100 times easier to get into debt than it is to get out of debt. But there you have it, the truth about buy now, pay later. These companies spend millions of dollars on psychological research to get you to spend more than you can actually afford. But now you know a little bit more about how to protect yourself. And if you like this video, make sure to check out this video that covers the business of Formula One and how billionaires use debt to fund their crazy hobby of racing.
They use debt to fund, See? Yep, because they know. They know. And this is a great video, Grant. Great video, bro. Great video. This is Paige? Is he a new YouTuber?
Imagine putting...
Okay, this is him. He has 141 videos. Oh, he posted 3 videos in a month. I guess he's coming back making videos, like, man. That was a great video. Great video.